أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Alright, so what's up, y'all? This is our next installment, the 5th installment in our Black History Month series, where we feature the inventions of great Black people and their inventions. So today, or right now, we're going over H. Bradberry. Let me see, dog. That's Henrietta Bradberry. Little known Black history fact, Henrietta Bradberry. Henrietta Bradberry invented, let me find her, a torpedo discharger. So Henrietta Bradberry, the inventor of a torpedo discharger, okay? So she was let me see. Damn, okay, man. All right, you got these damn cookies. You know how they these pop-ups on these websites, man. So Henrietta Bradberry was bed rack. Henrietta's bed rack was an attachment that could be applied to the end of a bed to hang up and refresh worn clothes with fresh flowing air. The patent she filed in 1941 better explains the purpose of the rack. This invention relates to bed attachments, especially for use in connection with exposing bedclothes to freshening by air after use. Bradberry also made a rack collapsible by providing a pedal that could rise and lower. Okay, the Kentucky native's inventive spirit was at work once more when 2 years later, now this is talking about the torpedo discharger. So 2 years later, she invented a new way for torpedoes to be discharged from submarines and subterranean forts. Unlike the 2 years it took the patent office to approve of her bed rack. So she invented a bed rack and she invented a torpedo discharger. The times of the World War II, so this is around like the early 1940s, World War II could have made it so that Bradberry's invention was given the fast track. The torpedo firing mechanism made it so that several torpedoes could be launched and that water could not get into the part of the machinery that made unleashing the missile possible. According to the former U.S. Patent Office examiner and author Patricia Carter Sluby, 2004 book, The Inventive Spirit of African Americans, Bradberry said that being at home gave her plenty of time to perfect her inventions and that ideas frequently came to her. Bradberry passed away in 1979. It doesn't list the patent number, but we can, with more, we could look online and find that. But Henrietta Bradberry, the inventor of the torpedo discharger, okay, woman, 20th century invention. Our next person is Charles Brooks. Charles Brooks patented one of the first self-propelled street sweepers. A Black man from Newark. He was born, or I don't even have his birth, but a Black man from Newark, New Jersey. Charles Brooks invented the first U.S. self-propelled street sweeper truck and patented on March 1896, y'all. This is like the Reconstruction era, right before the 20th century, when we get cars and all of the inventions of like the television and all that stuff, trains and. So this is what the article say. If you could imagine days where a man would manually have to sweep the streets with their horizontal head broom, shovel, and dustpan, one could quickly surmise that this invention was not only a time saver, but also extremely economical. Historically, prior to Brooks' truck, streets were commonly cleaned by walk-in workers picking up by hand, or broom, or by horse-drawn machines. Brooks' truck had brushes attached to the front fender that pushed trash to the curb. There was less manual labor, less downtime, as we know what sweeping can do to one's back. Well, a man by the name Charles Brooks. Okay, whatever, dude. This article is kind of weird. It was a towed attachment with a built-in rotating brush wheel. Charles Brooks actually decided to improve on the sweeper design of C.S. Bishop from Pennsylvania, who is credited with having invented the first street sweeper on September 4th, 1849. Because Bishop's sweeper was a tow behind machine, Brooks decided he could make the job a lot easier. As far as Brooks was concerned, the regular way of sweeping the streets was too daunting and not very cost effective. So he decided to create a sort of broom or sweeper and attach this device to a truck. Hence, the concept was born of the street sweeper truck. This was the first time a machine was built that looked more like what is used today. Brooks' patent was approved on March 17, 1896. His application for the patent was filed on April 20th, 1895. The street sweeper could best be described as a truck frame mounted on the axles, which are supported by front and rear wheels. There are drive wheels for the sweeping, elevator mechanisms, and an endless chain that travels around a sprocket wheel and travels up to an additional sprocket wheel. There is a squared shaft which is mounted at opposite sides and bearings in the upper parts of a pair of vertical standards consistent of the back and the rear parts of the truck frame, and then sustained by braces. I don't understand what the hell this is, but I'm gonna read it though. Which extends from the standards to the truck frame. The patent drawings go on to explain the complete composition of the invention. For those who are lost on the technical terms above, like I was, here is a layman's terms. The truck had brushes attached to the front fenders, which will revolve. These revolving brushes could interchange to a flat scraper that could be used in the winter months for snow and ice. Dude. And then they have a picture of his invention. And the picture is real detailed. You know how those engineer pictures with all the numbers and like the breakdown and the different angles. This is impressive. This is C.B. Brooks, Charles B. Brooks. He got the patent in 1896. Black man, all right? Street sweeper, okay? Next dude is Phil Brooks. And Phil Brooks is the inventor of a disposable syringe. And Phil Brooks invented the disposable syringe, like a disposable boom needle, boom, throw it away, bam. You feel me? That was a black dude, all right? In 1974, and was granted a U.S. patent. Oh shoot, 3,802,434, dog. You feel me? Hey, we right back on. You feel me? You're right back on, dog. All right. So Phil Brooks. Brooks was an African American, and see, that's why I don't like. Back in the day, they wasn't even called. They were called colored or Negro. Now you know what I'm saying? African American inventor. I don't even like that designation. It doesn't. I don't think it does justice to our identity, dog. But anyway, because white people aren't European Americans. So why we gotta be African Americans? All right. So, but that's another conversation. But Brooks was an African American inventor from Kansas. His invention made needles safer and easier to use, which was a vital contribution to the healthcare industry. Brooks' invention improved the Plasti-Pak, a plastic disposable syringe that was introduced by Becton Dickinson in 1961. Syringes are simple pumps that use a plunger to move liquids in and out. Today, syringes are used in many areas, not just in healthcare. Right? Yeah. Not just in healthcare. People be using them for other purposes. I'm not gonna get into that though. All right. Next person is Lincoln Fremont Brown. Birthday: Lincoln Fremont Brown was the inventor of the horse bridle bit. His birth date is October 27, 1866 in Ohio. He passed away on December 10th, 1828 in Xenia, Greene County, Ohio. And it says the ability, just real quick, let me just go ahead and read this. It says the horse bridle bit. The ability of the black inventor became apparent on this day, October 25th, 1892, when Mr. Lincoln Fremont Brown of Xenia, Ohio, received patent number 484,994 for his invention of the bridle bit, a device used when riding a horse. Let me look up what a bridle bit is, because I have no idea. Bridle bit for horses. What is a bridle bit for horses? What is a horse bridle bit used for? A bridle bit is a piece of equipment used to control and communicate with the horse. It's made up of a headstall, bit, and reins. How does the bridle work? How does it work? The headstall holds the bit in the horse's mouth. The reins are attached to the bit and held by the rider's hands, and the rider controls the horse by applying pressure to the reins. Okay, so it's basically like that thing that you see in the horse's mouth that wraps around him is basically like it's telling them like to stop or speed up or slow down. And the invention came from a black dude. Okay, his name was Lincoln Fremont Brown. He got the patent in 1892, and that guy is amazing. All right. Our next person, Mary Van Britten Brown, home security system. The African-American inventor, Mary Van Britten Brown, contributed to a safer society with her invention of the first home security. Her invention, that's Mary Van Britten Brown. Her invention was the first closed-circuit television security system and paved the way for modern home security systems. Damn, nigga. Think about this. All of this stuff that black people have contributed to society. I had this list. I've had this list for 25 years. I'm a historian. I majored in history. I'm a pretty smart dude. But I haven't dissected this history and really did my research, and now we're doing it together. But this is eye-opening to me. A lot of black people, we walking around not really knowing who we are and what we've done, man. This is just mind-boggling. This is just really fascinating. So, Brown was born in 1922 in Jamaica, Queens, New York, same area where like 50 Cent is from. She started off her career working as a nurse. Her husband, Albert Brown, was an electronics technician. As a nurse, Brown worked long hours and would return home late at night. Her husband, too, had irregular hours, so she was often alone at night. Fearful of being vulnerable in a high-crime area, Brown decided to figure out a way to see who was at her door if she heard knocking. In 1966, Brown, along with the assistance of her husband, invented a security system which consisted of 4 peepholes, a sliding camera, television monitors, and 2-way microphones. These items created a closed-circuit television system for surveillance known as CCTV. With multiple peepholes, the sliding camera was able to capture images of people who were different heights. The 2-way microphone allowed Brown to communicate with the persons outside. She also had a remote that would allow her to unlock the door at a safer distance. Lastly, she could press an emergency button that would send an alarm to police or security. Wow. In 1969, Brown and her husband received a patent for the invention under the U.S. patent number 3,482,037. Her invention was recognized in the New York Times, and she received an award from the National Scientist Committee for her work. Brown passed away at the age of 76 in 1999, but her legacy continues. Brown's contribution to home security led her invention to be cited in 32 subsequent patent applications. Her invention formed a system that is still relevant in today's society with use in places such as banks, office buildings, and apartment complexes. Damn. Closed circuit TV, dog. Closed circuit television system, bro. What's her name? Marie Van Britten Brown. Our next person, Oscar Brown, the inventor of the horseshoe. So the inventor of the horse bridle bit and the horseshoe, black people, man. Damn. All right. While it is unknown who actually invented the first horseshoe, some credit must be given to Buffalo, New York, African-American inventor Oscar E. Brown. Oscar Brown was an African-American inventor and a part of Western New York's history. In 1892, Brown was issued the U.S. patent number 481,271 for the improved horseshoe. While there had been prior patents granted for the horseshoe, including an 1835 patent granted to Henry Burden of Troy, New York, for a horseshoe manufacturing machine, Brown patented an improved double or compound horseshoe. This horseshoe improved upon the patent granted to J.B. Kendall in 1861 for the first composite horseshoe. Brown's horseshoe was made of an upper shoe secured to the roof of the horse and a lower auxiliary shoe irremovably attached to the upper horseshoe. The goal of this improved horseshoe was to provide a secure and reliable lock for fastening the lower shoe to the upper shoe. It would permit the lower shoe to be applied and removed from the upper shoe whenever it became necessary to renew the lower shoe or reshaping its caulks. The qualification for patenting an idea in the late 1800s and today are similar, if not exactly the same. Today, the idea must be patentable subject matter, which is defined by 35 United States Code 101 as any process, machine, manufacture, or composition of matter, or any improvement thereof. In addition, these basic criteria must be met regarding the subject matter. Now we getting into the nuts and bolts of how do you obtain a patent? How do you apply for one? How do you qualify to even apply for one? You feel me? The idea must relate to something which is useful. What is it useful for and why? The idea must be novel or new. This is met if the subject matter has not been previously known or used by others, or if the idea was subject to a prior patent or printed publication published more than 1 year from the invention of the subject matter. The novelty requirement is alive in the Patent Act at 35 United States Code 102. The idea must not be obvious to one having ordinary skills in the relevant technical discipline to which the invention relates. This requirement is located in 35 USC 103 and provides that a patent shall not be granted if at the time the invention was made, the difference between the subject matter sought to be patented and the prior art are such that the subject matter as a whole would have been obvious to a person having ordinary skills in the art to which the subject matter pertains. The non-obvious requirement is a subjectively applied objective test. It requires an analysis of the scope and content of the prior patent and a determination of the level of ordinary skill in the field of the patent. The patent process is no guarantee, but if the shoe fits your idea or improvement like Mr. Brown's, will secure the protection and benefits of a United States patent. So that's Oscar E. Brown, and he basically made improvements to the horseshoe. He got the patent in 1892. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Our next person is John Albert Burr. Born in 1848, passed away in 1926. Inventor of the patented rotary blade for lawnmowers, dog. Got a little short article. I'm gonna go ahead and read that. All right. Damn, man. I got this. And what's so cool is like the more like when you do this research online, you come across these articles, man, and they be having these amazing people. Now we got John A. Burr in 1898. He invented the lawnmower. John Burr was born in Maryland in 1848. His parents were slaves who were later freed, and he may also have been slave until age 17. He didn't escape from manual labor as he worked as a field hand during his teenage years. As he began to understand mechanics, he put his mechanical skills to work, making a living living, repairing, and servicing farm equipment and other machines. His talent was recognized by wealthy black activists, and they ensured he was able to attend engineering classes at a private university. He moved to Chicago and also worked as a steel worker. When he filed his patent for the rotary blade mower in 1898, he was living in Agawam, Massachusetts. His rotary lawnmower design helped reduce the irritating clogs of clippings that are the bane of manual mowers. His invention was also more maneuverable and could be used for closer clipping around objects such as posts and buildings. Looking at his patent diagram, you will see a design that is very familiar to manual rotary mowers today. Burr enjoyed the fruits of his success. Unlike many inventors who never see their designs commercialized or soon lose any benefit, he received royalties for his creations. He enjoyed traveling and lecturing. He lived a long life and died in 1926 of influenza at age 78. That's John Albert Burr, the inventor of the patented rotary blade for lawnmowers. It's like the push lawnmower. You know the push lawnmower? Yeah, before the mechanical lawnmower. All right. And I'm going to leave it at that for this session. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم إنه هو الغفور الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لا في خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.